Hey everyone, that gamer girl Sakuraki here, and today we are playing some World of Warcraft. We will be using one of my very old alts. I think I made this alt when Pandaria was just released. She's a priest, so a Padaran priest with Holy Priest to be specific, and we're going to be playing some low-level dungeons. So it actually took about 3 tries before I actually got into this dungeon because people actually declined. I mean, DPS declined, which I find very funny considering as a DPS player, you queue for so long to get into a dungeon, but healer, it's almost an instant queue. So I'm trying out Healbot for the first time in years because I used to play WoW often, like all the time. It was my game, my go-to game. And after Pandaria, just about when Warlords of Draenor was announced, I stopped playing World of Warcraft to focus on schoolwork, and I started playing other games, like games that were free specifically, and my WoW career kind of just disappeared until recently, where the end of last year, I got back into WoW. I've been playing on and off for the past, which should be about a year now. I mainly play with my main, which is a warlock, a destruction warlock, or now moving to affliction warlock because destruction DPS has just been nerfed so badly. It's just not fun to play her because her DPS is so low that people complain, and when you're playing 120 dungeons, people are really mean. Anyway, so this is a very low dungeon. This is, I think my character is level 47. This is Dire Maul, which is actually my least favorite set of dungeons. I hate the Dire Maul dungeons. I don't like this middle area of dungeoning. So from about, I'd say 35 to 60, the dungeons are just really, I just don't enjoy them. They're not fun. Razorfen Crawl, all of that weird stuff. No, my favorite set of dungeons probably comes in, I want to say Burning Crusade, but that's just because I like Blood Elves. But probably I really enjoy Battle for Azeroth dungeons, to be honest. So like 110 to 120, those dungeons are super fun to play. The new kind of dungeon dynamics that they've brought in, it makes it feel more immersive. These dungeons are kind of just you run, you kill, you run, you kill. That's it. They only started bringing like proper dungeon stuff in, I think, about like Hellfire Citadel, so Burning Crusade dungeons, where they started changing up the dungeon life a little bit. Yeah, so this is my Holy Priest, who I have not actually been playing with for a very long time. Surprisingly, I think I played with her one dungeon off camp, and then I was like, might as well record this, and yeah, here we are. So my rotation is basically I have heal and renew for small heals, and then I have flash heal for medium heals, and then I have this really big heal, which I actually can't remember the name of because I haven't played with her enough. For major heals, like emergency heals. And then I've got a few other stuff that I don't really use that much because at this level it's not that hard. I'm gonna say that now, but I'm probably gonna regret saying that now. But yeah, I've actually never healed with a priest before. My main healer was always a paladin who is sitting at level 100 right now. But my Holy Paladin was always my favorite to play until I think it was during Pandaria. Holy Paladin healing was kind of nerfed, and it made it very difficult to keep up with, it was very difficult to play Holy Paladin during that time, and I actually stopped dungeoning completely and I leveled her just by questing, which was very difficult because when you're playing a healing spec and you're trying to solo quest, it takes very long to kill things. But anyway, so I've recently just got up to 100, and I'm probably going to keep her on Retribution while I figure out what gear I need to get to gear her out for Paladin healing, and then I'm going to swap back onto that, which I think is going to be super fun. I can't wait. I have a few friends who have already said that they would be my guide in helping me figure out what's what. So this dungeon took really long. I think the total of this video time without being sped up and I'm being cut was about, I feel like it was 40 minutes or 35 minutes, which for me, I was so bored halfway through this dungeon, which is kind of sad because classic dungeons should get more love. Yeah, classic dungeons should definitely get more love. Okay, there's me trying out one of the spells that are not exactly in my specific rotation, but I wanted to use it because it looks really cool when you do the animation, and I was completely unsure as to how much healing it does. So this is actually a boss, and it's taking really long because, I don't know, it just feels weird going from high-level dungeons to playing these low-level dungeons, and it feels like more damage should be done, but it's just like they're actually not really... people are still leveling, so you need to take that into consideration when you're playing with an alt. Although I must admit I have not actually played any of the classic dungeons since I leveled my paladin, which was probably millions of years ago when dinosaurs still walked the earth. But yeah. So the way that I got into World of Warcraft is a very interesting story. So I was trying to find a game for me to play. We just moved into a new house and I was looking for something that would be really fun, and I was on YouTube and I stumbled across this trailer, World of Warcraft, and I watched the trailer, and you know, there's a scene with the night elf running through the forest with her saber, and the dwarf hunter. And no, the night elf turns into the saber. She's the druid night elf, and then dwarf hunter with his bear, and like the orcs, and yeah, I watched it and I was like, oh my word, Mom, we have to get this game, it looks super cool. And she was like, okay, well, how much is it? And back then, WoW was super cheap because, you know, inflation wasn't a thing. Well, it was, but it was really low and our country had a stable economy. Anyway, so I started playing WoW probably 2010 or 11? 10 or 11, around that time. And I started playing WoW, and my first character, which I still have sitting on one of my realms, still the same level as where I stopped playing with her. My first character was a Night Elf Druid, because I did not have Burning Crusade, so I just had base game WoW and beautiful early game WoW. And she was a Night Elf Druid, and I think I stopped leveling her at about 24, because what happened was I started playing WoW, and then my mom was like, okay, so let me check what type of game this is. And she started playing WoW on my account, and then she got really interested in WoW, and the next thing we would have arguments about whose turn it was to play WoW, and then she finally bought her own game. So I have a few characters of hers that are sitting on my realms from when we used to share an account. And then when she bought hers, I bought Burning Crusade, and then I swapped to playing Blood Elves, and I have been playing Horde ever since. So it was relatively early on in my WoW career, to be honest. Most of my characters are Blood Elves, except for this one, although she is Horde, so yeah, I kind of like to keep it on the same faction. So the funny thing is that when I used to play WoW regularly, and my mom used to play WoW regularly, is that she actually had more high-level characters than I did, because she enjoyed the leveling process more. So I had more endgame content. At the time it was Burning Crusade endgame, and then I got Wrath of the Lich King. So then it was Wrath of the Lich King endgame content. So I would be playing on my main, but she would have like already about like two or three characters sitting at level 17. I only have my one character but yeah, it's great. WoW is just, it's the reason why WoW is so fun to play is that it is a stable connection. The servers work. If there are problems, the problems are fixed so quickly. It's just, it is probably, in my opinion, it is the best MMORPG, because a lot of MMOs, I've played so many MMOs trying to find something to fill the hole in my heart that can only be filled by WoW. I've played so many Star Wars, the Star Wars MMO, Neverwinter, Black Desert Online, all of that, all of them. I've probably played them all. And the thing is that although they're free, a lot of the in-game content you need to kind of pay for. Not that you can't earn it in-game, it just takes very long. And some of the servers can be super bad. Like Neverwinter, it was difficult to go into a main town because it just died. It just died. I mean, Neverwinter was fun, the combat system is great, but it just died. And that's the thing about WoW, is you pay for sub, but what you're getting from your subscription is so worth it. And everything you can earn in game. The only thing that you can really buy outside of, well, outside content is like mounts and pets and limited edition stuff like that. But it's not like you can buy gear that'll make you better or money for in-game money. You know, it's all about earning your currency, although I'm very terrible at that. I mean, my main is sitting on 30k and that's the richest I've ever been in my life. So yeah, it's kind of sad, but I'm trying. I'm starting to get our item level up. I'm starting to sell stuff on the auction house more regularly in an attempt to earn money so that I can just have it, I guess. So I can buy stuff when I need to. Yeah, my main is a warlock, like I said, and I love playing casters. So my main is a warlock, then I have my healers, which are obviously casters. So I've got Kaori, which is this priest, and my paladin, also a caster, and then another class that I enjoyed playing when I played was hunter and mage. Obviously I dabbled with mages a bit, but I played fire mage, and then people would get really like pissed off because fire mages weren't the greatest thing in the world. But yeah, so casters are kind of my thing. I don't really like close combat. I tried rogue once, I think I tried warrior once. It's a lot going on the screen. Mage, you have a nice distance to kind of just sit back and watch from afar. Okay, finally we've reached the last boss, which makes me extremely happy. When we got here, I was pretty much screaming into my microphone. The boss, the kind of, I would call him like a sub-boss, goes down relatively quickly because our tank is great and he puts the little skull on him to show our DPS to focus on him. And then this last boss kind of takes a while. I'm just busy healing. I'm mostly using flash heal, which doesn't actually seem to be taking a lot off my mana, which I was very surprised about because I expected my mana to go down more often than it did. But I guess because of my talents and just I tried not to overheal too much. I think I did though, I'm not gonna lie, because mainly just because I saw the bars go down just a little bit and I got a little bit stressed. But look at me doing some damage as well, trying to help out because I just really want this dungeon to end because it was not fun. Oh, but it's the fastest way to level. And look, oh, we leveled up, yay for us. We got the thing, we got a wand. Nobody uses wands really, Blizzard, give me a wand. But I got a belt, so I'm super happy about that. Anyways, this is my WoW video. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want more WoW videos, let me know. Thank you and goodbye.